So when you bring Khamzat Chimaev and you bring his camp, and then you bring in very unique personalities like Luke Rockhold, who's probably one of the most uniquest personalities in mixed martial arts history, and then you bring in a calm, very peaceful demeanor, but just a brute and a ferocious, dynamic fighter like Khalil Roundtree, and then you bring in all the undefeated Chechens and all the sparring partners, and then you bring in Arman Sarukian, the influencer turned professional fighter, turned back to an influencer. I think that you would think that this would be a ginormous cluster of egos, but the unique thing that I've been able to see is the calmness and the stillness everybody has when they walk in the gym. When you have Khalil Roundtree doing rounds with Khamzat, and Arman doing rounds with 3 or 4 wrestlers getting ready for his RAF fights, or getting ready for his side quests, or just staying in shape, you're seeing something that you don't see in most camps, which is a unique mix of fighters coming together all with one common goal, to make each other better. And I love the mentality that Luke has, and Khalil has, and Khamzat has, even Arman, which is iron sharpens iron. And they're constantly going into these training camps with the intent to make each other better and giving each other amazing work. I mean, I've seen a day where Khamzat made everybody do 25-minute rounds, and then they went and did wrestling drills, and that was later in the night. Earlier in the day, they did a full workout and hit pads. So when you're talking about two-a-days, you're talking about very intense two-a-days followed up by very intense recovery program and eating. So weight, nutrition, training, and then the MMA sparring and the drilling. I mean, they're covering all bases to have one of the most complete camps I've ever seen.
As fight night gets closer, Khamzat Chimaev is not just preparing for a bout, he is preparing for a war. Training alongside some of the most dangerous names in the sport, including Arman Sarukian and Demetrius Johnson, means every session comes with real pressure and a chance to sharpen his game even further. That kind of camp is no joke, and if Chimaev carries that level of preparation into the cage, Sean Strickland could be in for a very rough night.
No one wants another YouTuber. What's wrong with this guy?
Bro, never. When it goes, brother, relax, never invite you.
Malibu and chill. No, train and get sweaty. What's wrong with you?
You need to invite me too.
Strong doesn't need to train.
Are you ready for the wrestler? He's talking a lot of crap about you.
Brother, I was born ready for this.
Okay. Now he's a celebrity, Khamzat. He doesn't care about training. He's a celebrity.
Bodybuilder?
He's the Armenian McGregor. Hey, you're the Armenian McGregor. The intensity is a whole new level. Plus, there's 3 or 4 new sparring partners which we haven't unveiled. You know, Khamzat's camp, they're all undefeated fighters. You have Youssef, Ansar, Real Hunter, all undefeated fighters, all great talent. And everybody kind of plays a purpose in the camp. It's very strategic to how they do drills, what they do in the morning, what they do at night. It's not just a free-for-all. And the coaching team with Alon and everybody going around Khamzat, keeping him focused, I think is like the best thing ever. I mean, we're doing the camp here in Newport Beach, so it's away from a lot of the riffraff of the MMA community, and it's kind of secluded. So I think that's also a huge benefit here at the Jackson Media House in Santo Studio.
Is very clear about what really drives him behind the scenes. For him, it has never been about money or outside rewards. It is about the people around him. Family, in his eyes, is not limited to blood relatives. It includes his brother, his friends, and everyone who has supported him along the way. That sense of loyalty and connection is what keeps him moving forward, and it gives every performance a meaning that goes beyond just himself.
Champion now, I mean, a lot of things change, you've been moving, but what I remember back then, you said that you were fighting mostly about money, because to secure a better future for your family, for your close ones. Today, what are you fighting for today? I mean, you didn't mention money, but obviously that also changes becoming a champion, right?
Yeah, we're still fighting for my family, for my people, you know. So it's for me, family is a big thing. All my friends is my family. All the people who is close, my brother is my family, you know. It's not only like my mom, my dad, you know. So all the people around me is my family. So. Yeah, so
that mindset also shows up in the way people around him view the training room. As Arman Sarukian explains, working with Chimaev during this second camp feels like a continuation of something that started long before the title picture became real. Even now that he is champion, Chimaev still brings the same work ethic, the same intensity, and the same willingness to learn. At the same time, he creates room for exchange instead of just competition. With different body types and styles moving through the room, the real value comes from the constant sharing of experience where everyone helps each other sharpen and evolve session after session.
Arman, I gotta ask you this. The thoughts on Khamzat Chimaev here again for his second camp. You were so part of the first camp, him going to get the title against DDP. Now he's doing the second one here at Jackson and Santo. You guys have had amazing relationship. We see all these videos of you guys training at Santo Performance Studio, training at Coach Cal's, you know, on the bikes. Talk to me about training with him. I know he's bigger than you. I know he brings in a lot of different guys, but the energy, the training, the sparring, what's it like?
I mean, Khamzat, he's a hard worker, and so now he's a UFC champion, and it's good when you have like this sparring partner, a friend, and who can show you and tell you something, and like we share like our experience and grow and get him.
Chimaev also shifts the focus away from legacy talk and keeps himself grounded in the present. He does not obsess over the idea of building a legacy the way other fighters might. In his view, that will happen naturally if he keeps doing his job. What matters most to him is that he genuinely enjoys the process, training, traveling, competing, and living in the middle of it all. To him, it is simple. Go out, do the work, get paid, and move on. And when that enjoyment disappears, he will know it is time to stop. But right now, he is exactly where he wants to be.
Trying to fight for everyone.
So that is still the fuel that keeps you going, that you want to do more. What do you want to accomplish? I mean, obviously defend the belt. You need to do that for the legacy and
No, legacy, I never think about too much so about the legacy. Legacy can come myself, but so I enjoy my job. So I like to train. I like to fly to other country, beat somebody up, but take the money, come back again, you know. So when the day will come, so when I'm not going, not enjoying with my job, so then I will finish right.
Arija Faber offers a slightly different angle on what makes Chimaev so hard to deal with. In his view, it is not just the wrestling itself, it is the mindset behind it. The real problem is a fighter who is completely committed to one approach and executes it without hesitation. When that is combined with elite physical tools, it becomes overwhelming for opponents who are trying to manage too many things at once. Faber points out that when someone is young, durable, and fully believes in his path, that creates a style that is very difficult to break.
Does anybody even have any wrestling remotely close to Khamzat Chimaev in his division?
Yeah, I don't think I think it comes down to mentality, not technique with him. Like that guy, like what I see with him is a guy that's got some amazing physical gifts. He's 100% in on his game plan. That's very powerful. Being somebody that's 100% in, that's hard to fight when everybody else is fighting with all these different disciplines, and you're going to go in there with one, and you're 100% commit, and you're a young, durable, like hungry, believes anything, believes he can beat anybody. Like that's hard to beat. He will get.
Luke Rockhold makes the point that nobody at the top reaches that level alone. He knows what he brings to the table, and he understands why a fighter like Khamzat Chimaev benefits from being surrounded by experienced voices. At the highest level, talent still needs direction, and Rockhold's view is that MMA is at its best when elite fighters are learning from other elite minds.
Killer. So insane. Khamzat's looking fit and strong right now. He's ready for the next round.
Obviously, it's an honor to have that respect from the guys, and I know what I've done in MMA. I've had some side quests, but when it comes to MMA, I know it very well, and I know I can add a lot of value to a guy like that. No matter how good you are, you need someone just to keep you on the right direction. At the very top of our game, you still have some people that can bring a lot of value and insight. MMA is an iron sharpens iron world. If you build a team of the best gangsters, everyone's gonna push each other to the top. So you bring in the right pieces that when people aren't there to hurt each other, but they're all there to build each other, but to push each other to the end. I'm not doing this when you were telling me. You're wrestling, dog.
That elite environment is not just about veteran advice. It also depends on specialists who can give a look nobody else can really replicate. Pat Downey fits that role perfectly, bringing the kind of high-level wrestling furniture that is extremely difficult to find elsewhere. That is exactly why he is trusted enough to be brought in, because he adds real value to Chimaev's preparation. At the same time, Downey is not just helping Chimaev, he is sharpening his own game too, because training in that kind of room forces everyone to level up.
You're exhausting yourself. So you just gotta get back up. That's all Sean's gonna do is try to get back up. I got you. Give him that. That's all. I got you. It's not you. It's one bench.
I think the value I provide to Khamzat is a real high-level wrestling look, and at his level and at my level, it's extremely hard to find quality training partners. I like to think I provide some value in there, and it's probably why I'm the only American that gets flown into training camps. So it's obviously humbling and reassures me that my skills are at the level I believe they are. And this is arguably the only camp where I get more value than I probably provide, because the Wolf is such high level. It's literally a no-brainer.
There were still any doubts about what Chimaev can do. Demetrius Johnson clears them up quickly. He does not view Khamzat as a one-dimensional threat at all. He sees a fighter who can operate at a high level in striking, kickboxing, and grappling. What stands out most, though, is Khamzat's instinct to go straight to the simplest and most effective path to victory, which often means leaning on the wrestling advantage few fighters can match. That is not something he picked up overnight. It is the product of a lifetime spent grappling, so when the fight hits the mat, it feels completely natural.
I think a lot of people got to realize Khamzat Chimaev can box, he can kickbox, he can grapple, and he can wrestle. He's gonna look for the least path of resistance, and his wrestling's so much better than everybody, he can just take advantage of them in that area. And people always wonder, like, man, why is he so good at grappling? Well, he's been grappling his whole life.
Beyond all the intensity and dominance, Johnson also points out another side of Chimaev that people often overlook: his humility. Even while preparing for a fight like this, he is still taking the time to help teammates get better. That says a lot about his mindset. It is not only about physical force or raw skill, it is about understanding the details, using advantages the right way, and making the right adjustments in real time. Whether he is guiding a teammate through an exchange or showing how to manage distance and pressure, Chimaev shows that his fight IQ is just as important as his athletic tools.
And one of the cool things I love about Khamzat, he's such a humble guy. Even though he's getting ready for his fight, against Sean Strickland, I won one of his teammates, and the guy had a hard time passing my guard, and I had a hard time passing his guard. And Khamzat was showing him, was like, you gotta, from my interpretation, how he was trying to tell the gentleman is that you got to look at your opponent. I'm way smaller than Khamzat. So Khamzat can put his hand on my chest and my stomach, and he can extend himself all the way away from me and still go to the end of my ankles and press me while keeping me his weight on my stomach.
Too fast.
Hi.
It has to give if you put the weight on you, it's easy to keep someone who is fast.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but if you try to go to side control just running for the side, it's not possible because you're too fast.
Just to see? Can you take my hand off?
Yeah, you see. And he's longer, so he goes all the way back, and he can go.
When they bring someone in for a few rounds while Chimaev is cooling down, the whole thing has a playful tone, but everyone in the room knows exactly what it means. Johnson describes it as the wolf versus the mouse, which captures the size difference, but not necessarily the difference in intent or skill. Even in that setting, it is not just sparring for the sake of sparring. It is another example of how Chimaev stays active, stays sharp, and keeps the whole room learning, no matter who gets put in front of him.
They called me down to get a couple rounds in with Khamzat as he's doing his cool down. Now you guys are about to see the wolf versus the mouse. The Armin tell you I was good? Armin tell you I was strong?
Maybe for him, yeah.
Both arms. Oh, this is like a little man right there. Come on, Mighty, fight. Fight, Mighty. No, he's... Fight, Mighty. You got 13 titles. Fight.
I am. It's too fast. Get your arms.
Johnson also makes it clear that those exchanges are not random at all. They are strategic. Against someone like Chimaev, going for a standard takedown is not always realistic, so even something like pulling guard becomes a calculated way to enter his world and see what is possible underneath him. At this level, size differences matter less than people think because every elite grappler feels strong, every position feels heavy, and every sequence becomes a problem-solving battle where even the smallest opening can matter. Johnson also emphasizes that Chimaev's striking is not just about power. He says Khamzat actually moves with purpose, stepping off angles, mixing combinations, and flowing between attacks instead of standing still and loading up like a lot of fighters do on pads. Even in light sparring, that same pattern shows up. Footwork, positioning, and rhythm all working together in a way that shows real understanding. For Johnson, that is further proof that Chimaev's striking is structured and evolving, not just aggressive for the sake of being aggressive. So what do you make of Chimaev's ultra-intense camp? Will it be enough to get past Strickland, or does this kind of preparation raise even more questions heading into fight night? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more updates, breakdowns, and everything happening in the fight world as it unfolds.